Hi everyone, it's 14th of November, it's a Tuesday, 10 minutes past 11 AM here in Australia. Here's my latest video blog. At the moment I'm doing a bit of a run on some up and coming blockchain opportunities and I suppose initiatives, and I'm a bit of a tech head, so I love all of the new innovations and smart products and those type of things, and the great thing about blockchain technology is that it's providing a new avenue for seamless transferring of information in a way that can connect more people together and actually send more information faster around the world. So what that means is that technology is going to go up a step, and that's what I'm looking at. And there's a whole heap of new obviously there's a lot of ICOs and a lot of blockchain companies coming from everywhere, and you've just got to sort through these particular ICOs and find particular products and platforms that appeal to you, and that's what I'm doing personally. What I wanted to talk to you today was about Loomia. Now, Loomia is a technology-based platform, an opportunity, or a company, if you like. They are working with a smart product, and what they're going to be doing is integrating smart technology into clothing, and this is the future, really. So at the moment we've got iPhones, and we've got iPads and everything. If you go back to the early 90s, we had mobile phones that were about this big, and it's been an amazing experience to watch everything sort of evolve and transform, and everything's getting smaller, and everything's becoming integrated into our normal day living. And I suppose this is where Loomia comes in, and what they're trying to do, and there's a little statement here: we are a technology company creating innovation in smart products secured through blockchain technology. We connect consumers and companies in mutually beneficial, seamless exchange. Now, the purpose of this video is more for information. I've just on a bit of a swing. I have been asked to do lots of videos, and I've been sharing them in my Crypto Nut Insights Telegram group, which you're welcome to join. If you get something from this, then great. You can always let me know what you think of these products. I'd really like to hear other people's opinions on what all of this means to our future and our society. Now, I've got a whole heap of tabs open. What I wanted to do is just run through them. I've picked out a whole heap of little snippets. Now, this is the Loomia electronic layer, the LEL, which is a soft, flexible circuit embedded into textiles with the ability to sense changes in its environment, such as heat and touch. Now, I've never really thought about this, and we look at smartphones and things like that, and I think there's some talk about we've got the Apple Watch, and they're talking about these special, very thin graphene wristbands that are going to be coming out, a bit like the Minority Report with what's his name, Tom Cruise, where it's all sort of hologram, very thin technology, and that's where graphene comes in. But this is going up into a totally different market, where they're actually going to be integrating the technology into clothing, and that's where the LEL. So just remember that. I found that in the white paper, and I didn't know what it was, so I had to go and look for it. But it's in reference to Loomia electronic layer. Now they're going to be doing different things and integrating this into different parts of your clothing as well, and I'll get to that in a minute. So apparently the way it's going to work is there's going to be an electronic layer, which is the technology itself, and there's going to be a tile, as you can see in this picture. Sort of looks about the size of an iPhone or a small hard drive, and that's going to be storing a lot of the information. Now I can see that getting smaller and smaller and smaller as well as the technology develops and evolves. But there's going to be a Loomia desktop app, and there'll probably be a mobile app and all these things, and what happens is all the data and information from your body and your movements and your behaviour is going to be put into an application and put into a module, and from there they can apply probably put it into different criterias and create a database of information based on your personal movement and your personal data. Now, they're obviously going to be using this with blockchain as well. That's the great thing. It'll all be encrypted, it'll all be personalised as well. That's what I've been reading into. I thought, I think people are very careful about how they share information. In the past, we've sort of taken it for granted with Facebook and Messenger. There's a lot of different talk about how our information is shared. Google, they do a lot of tracking, you know, how we always get bombarded with ads and that type of stuff. Now, information is worth a lot of money, and I'm going to get back to a very special part of Loomia a little bit later, and why I think this is an amazing product. Now, moving on through here, I just wanted to just double check. I've got another page open. So the next one is the actual technology itself. Now, Loomia integrates seamlessly with your chosen material, and you can see a basic circuit board, which is going to be within the actual material, and that's going to be allow for different applications. And they talk about it can handle up to 150 different washes, so they've tested its durability, and obviously it's going to be an evolving space, and they'll probably only improve this technology. When it talks about the current market options, they've got conductive links, flexible PCBs, which is I think it's sort of like rigid apparel, which is those bracelets and things I was talking about, and they've got wide-based ribbons. I'm not too sure 100% on all of these particular elements to the market, but what they're looking at doing is creating this LEL and integrating it with the clothing, so we can get away from some of this bulky type of technology. I mean, we're all carrying the phones around. I think at some stage we'll probably be just connected to the internet. You know, you might just tap, a bit like Star Trek, you might just tap your badge and all of a sudden you're connected to the phone or to the internet, and there'll be visual displays of some sort, and then you go from there. But next one is, this was just some sort of use cases. Now they've got tracking devices. They've already got some prototypes in regards to the shoes. They've got talking about heat. They're talking about touch sensing, as you can see in this little GIF here. The actual material does work to real use movement. Lighting, so adjusting lighting, you could probably just with a swipe of your handbag, it looks like here you could turn on an internal light, and it's a space that I don't think we have totally grasped yet, because it's not a part of our daily life yet, and I think it's an amazing product. Moving to the next bit, this is the bit that caught my eye, is that the Loomia tile gives individuals the right to own their personal data, along with the freedom to choose how to share it and sell it. So at the moment what's happening is that, probably no fault of our own, it's just the current state of the market is that you've got all your apps on the phone, and when we first got our mobile phone we didn't really read the terms and conditions too much. What we found was that our information was being extracted from us, whether that's Google searches, from apps, you know, the permission status of particular apps like Messenger, that, you know, they can grab our phone list or our email list and all these different things, and have access to microphones and cameras and things like that. And you've got to be very, very careful of what permissions you're giving these companies, if you so choose to protect your own information and data. And I'm really big on that. I am very personal. I tend to believe that as an individual you've got to maintain that privacy part of it's an integrity, and it's an inalienable right, and I think a lot of people are forgetting that. They're just giving away their freedoms too easily, and we've got to pull that back. Now when it comes to personal data, if you've got the ability to track it, store it, put it into criteria, put it into a mainframe, and then sell it to specific parts of the market and industry, and actually benefit from your own information, I think that sounds like an amazing initiative, and it puts the control back into the individual, and it does keep that information war alive, in the sense that, you know, the marketing companies at the end of the day will tend to win anyway, because they get all this information. If you choose to be a part of that, you can then share your information and make a remuneration. Now, next thing too was, and I do mention this in all my videos, now and I was in my Crypto Nuts Insight Telegram, and one of the fellas in there talked about how hard it is to keep up with all the technology, you know, and the study side of it. And I sort of get this because, you know, a lot of people have got full-time jobs and family and kids, and when making investment decisions, or even just learning and expanding your own horizons and learning about blockchain. When we first got into the entire market, even when you started to research Bitcoin, a lot of it when it's new and not necessarily understood can go over your head, and it's a lot to absorb. And it's the same with all these ICOs. You know, it's easy for someone to say, look, make your own decisions, do your own research, you know, invest wisely, and all of these type of things. It's very hard if you're not actually doing the research. But what I think you have to do is, if you are interested in a particular entity, you've got to go and sit down. You've got to write down, you know, read white paper and those sort of things, and you've got to allocate the time. And that's what I do. I'm lucky that I've got about 4 or 5 hours a day where I can do research, and I do learning in all areas of life, and a lot of it's based on ICOs and crypto at the moment. It's just the stage of life I'm in. But getting into Loomia, they do have a white paper, and they do talk in a lot more detail about what the LEL is and how it works and how it interacts with the tile, the docking system, how it goes into the API interface, and how that information is stored. Now, I think they're going to be using Ethereum. They're going to be using Storage. Now, Storage is a information data based cryptocurrency platform, so they're going to be using them and connecting to that particular blockchain, and which is great. When you're actually integrating with other blockchains, you can see the community will be shared as well, and so in their own way. And I do believe that blockchain and ICOs and those type of investments do come back to the strength of not only the product, but the strength of the team and the community that's driving the particular product. So definitely get onto the white paper and have a read. It is a little bit slow on my computer, so I'm not going to go and pull up any particular key information. I wanted to, but it's just I'm having a bit of a funny moment on my computer. I've got so many windows open today, and it's just holding me back. What I did find was a technical data sheet, and it's just a one-pager, and you know, it's just the little bits of information which builds confidence in particular products. And they've got an ISO rating for their product, so they've already got prototypes in particular elements of clothing. There is a video which I'm going to show you where they show the boots that they've got, some female boots, and they've got this particular system, or the Loomia system, or LEL, integrated into these clothing already. So it's already working. Now, you can read this technical data sheet. I'm not going to bore you with that, but it is on the website. Now, in regards to the actual tile, you're sort of investing in a product, and I like that. It's not a concept in the sense that it's just an idea. They do have a prototype. If you are going to invest, this is not investment advice. I'm going to keep saying that in every video. It does get a bit boring, but I have to do it. I'm not here to make a decision for you, but the thing about Loomia is that this is a product, and that's what I like. If you're investing in a financial platform, as long as they've got the platform that you can actually use, then you know that's a win. This is the technical stuff. I'm actually invested in Bowhead, which is a medical device which actually dispenses supplements and medicines, which I think is a great idea. If you want to have a look at that, research into Bowhead. Loomia is in the similar concept, and it's actually got a technical product, and it goes through and talks about how it actually works. So there's a lot of information on the website to give you insight in what you're actually investing in. Next one is the team. Now, I'll be honest here, I can't click on any of these and actually go into it. I will be having a quick look into you know, the CEO, there's Janet, and there's a couple of others, and I just want to have a little look. And I do that generally just out of good practice when I do invest. And again, this video is not about investing, it's more about sharing this amazing product. Because imagine in 10 years time we're walking down the street and we just swipe our arm, and you know, the phone rings and you're connected to your best friend. You know, I can see that being an amazing initiative to our world. It's going to create so much more time. We're carrying less gadgets on us, and I think this could be a major win if these guys can pull it off. And it's going to actually make a lot of these other companies sort of look at what they're doing. You know, they're trying to make phones smaller and thinner. I think there's another company called Nanodots, which is listed on the Australian Stock Exchange. They're into graphene nanodots, which are very small. Well, they're nanodots, aren't they? They're very tiny little graphene elements, which comes from coal. They're using those in a lot of the screens now, and you'll find that they'll be able to make wafer-thin technical screens with just like a TV and brighter colours, and they can put it into detergents and things like that. So all of this is going to rapidly evolve in this whole space, and I can see that being a part of this whole direction. And this is the thing, you're either in the loop or you're not. You know, it's a funny thing. The technology is moving so fast. If you haven't got your eye on it, you know, all of a sudden you're one of those old codgers that's out of the loop, and you feel a bit dated. So that's why I like keeping up with what's happening. The next thing is just that there is a video on the website. They don't have any of those little cartoon type videos. If they've been on a couple of TV shows with their products, I'm not going to press play on this video because it's quite long. Because it's actually one of those interview style videos. They do talk about the boots and discuss the technology, so it's worth watching. It's at the bottom of the homepage from memory. It's actually under token, so Loomia.com/token, just at the bottom there. Now the other one I had, I think, is the roadmap. People like to see roadmaps, meaning does this company have any direction? You know, what lays ahead? At the moment, and I'll run through it, the next 6 months starting now, or based on when this website was actually built, and from what I know, this is actually very, very new. Particular entity, the white paper is only dated since August. So 6 months, they're talking about getting the LEL to Tile platform integration, the Tile wallet integration, and simple data exchange. Within the year, they're going to be integrating with storage. They're going to have a registry of contracts on the Ethereum, which I imagine will be smart contracts, and integrating that with the Tile platform. In a couple of years, they're going to have self-adjusting pricing models and support for other wearable data, and obviously it will evolve. They're talking about an ultra-thin design for the Tile, so there we go. We're already talking about advancing on the Tile that they already have. And in 3 years' time, you know, identity scoring system, you probably get a ranking. I think that seems to be a common theme with a lot of these blockchains, is that based on the community-driven aspect, you get a reputation type score, and that does help your returns, and the longer you're integrated with these companies, you tend to get a better passive income and that type of stuff. So there's a lot of positives to all of these blockchain techs. You've just got to go and do the due diligence to learn what benefits they are, because they do vary from one company to another. So that's the roadmap. Again, you've got to go and do your own research on what all this means. A lot of that's in the white paper. Again, if you join the Telegram, you can listen to what the admins are talking about and any little evolutions and things like that. So Loomia is one that I'm watching. I am more interested in the technical based blockchain opportunities, because there is a product. The financial platforms I like, the technical products I like, because that's what you're investing in. I have gone back to some of the currencies. Initially I thought, oh, the blockchain technology is going to move away from currencies because it's all about, you know, technology, and then I realised that the future is going to be tokenized currencies, and I think that's the reality we have to face, regardless of how people feel about cash and things like that. The world's only going to get faster and more seamless, and it's going to become more integrated with each other. So Loomia, that's what I've got for you today. I will probably do another video on the team, because I just want to do some research and have a look on LinkedIn and just see what these guys are made of, and I'll share that with you. And I'm in touch with the Loomia team as well. They're shooting me some other information, and if anything hot comes my way, I'll make sure that I'll do a quick video and just keep you up to date with that. So let me know what you think of Loomia. You can get a lot of my videos on my website, which is Online Coaching Australia. I am a fitness coach. I've got a gym here. I've got 200 members, and we talk about living a better life, and I've got just other things that I do, and you're welcome to check those out. And I will be doing some new videos on what I've got planned over the next couple of years. But at the moment, I'm just having fun with crypto. It is part of living a better life. That's the reality we face in a capitalist society. If you want to contribute to society, you can give up your time, but sometimes if you can generate a little bit more money, you can create, and that's what I'm all about. Feel free to jump on my steemit.com profile. It is a blog. I do plug it every time. May as well come and have a chat with me. I do upvote people's comments. I like talking about stuff. Sometimes you do these videos and you're not sure who's watching and listening. I'd like to have interaction. It only validates my time, and it also validates the discussion and some of these, the information. We want to know: is it valid? Is it worth investing in? Is it worth even looking at? Do we move on? Are there other options? What else is in the market? And if we don't have these conversations, we just don't learn from each other. So that's all I've got, and feel free to join my Telegram group if that's something you want to do. And thanks for watching, guys, and listening, and tune into my next video. Thanks.